Hey, what is up, everybody? Reubin here. My name's Reubin, and welcome back to Interactive Horror Stories. Now, if you remember in the last episode, we went through quite a bit of a disturbing story with the doll, where a little girl ended up killing her mother because the doll was possessed, and the doll, I think, ended up possessing the child. So we're going to move straight down the order, and we're going to move on to our next lovely little story called After Funeral. Okay, so a little bit of backstory. After Funeral is a modern gothic horror story that takes place 3 days after your son's burial. You receive messages in your computer, those claim to be sent by your son's soul. He says that he wants to be with you once again, and he asks you to do a few things in order to be resurrected. Will you believe in the messages? So obviously this is now where the story picks up, and we need to take it from here. So let's climb straight in and have a look. Okay, so you used to be a father. It has been 3 days since your son Jonathan White was buried in the graveyard of the local church. He was 8 years old. He had golden hair and blue eyes, just like the beloved man in the Carpenter song. Close to you since your wife passed away, giving birth to Jonathan, and since he has been your everything. He was your angel, and now he is gone. He died on a snowy winter morning. You had gone to the market, leaving him alone at home. When you arrived at home, you found Jonathan lying on the bed, motionless. His face was covered with his pillow, choked. Police couldn't find any trace of trespassing. You clearly remember the solemn moments of Jonathan's funeral. In fact, you tried to forget, but the details are in front of your eyes and they won't go away. The priest had anointed psalms and prayers, those you are not so familiar with. You are not so religious. While the lifeless body of your son laid in the church. His feet were turned to the east. He was wearing a black suit and shiny shoes. His skin was pale. He was way too young for all of this. You wished it was you lying there instead of him. Like the day Jonathan died, it's a snowy day in all of Idaho. There are 3 inches of snow outside, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. You are a writer who has been on writer's block since that day. Your favorite word processor is open in the computer. The screen is blank. You haven't written anything for a long time. There are cigarette butts in the ashtray and your black hot coffee in a blue cup on your work table. You chain smoke and consume a lot of coffee nowadays. Okay, so as you are sipping your coffee, the doorbell rings. Obviously, we're going to open up the door just to find out who it is. You open the door, it's Bob, your neighbor, and a friend. You had drunk beers and had barbecue with him for several times. Bob is a nice guy. He is overweight, has short black hair, and has no facial hair. He wears a dark blue jacket and a black beanie. Oh my gosh, a black beanie. Holy shit, okay. So he wears a dark blue jacket and a black beanie. Hey, how are you? I wanted to ask how you've been. Nobody's obviously in this situation going to tell them, I'm depressed. You're going to say you're fine while you're trying to deal with everything. So I'm personally going to go with, you know what, let's lie. I'm fine. Bob believes in your lie. It is good that you are doing better, fam. Everyone knows losing kids is a hard process, but I'm sure you will get over it. You're a strong man. Oh, like me losing my son is just something I'm supposed to get over. Douche. Bob continues, I'm going to the market right now. Do you need anything? Remember that you are out of cigarettes. Yes, I need cigarettes. He puts his hand in his pocket and pulls out a pack of cigarettes. Maybe I'm a bad friend for doing this, but anyway, take this. I will buy myself another pack in the market. You take the pack that has 10 cigarettes inside and thank him. Okay man, see you later. You say goodbye to Bob too, then he goes. You close the door and sit back at your work table. You look at the computer screen that should have been blank, but no, it's not blank. Something is written. Daddy, I missed you. Okay. Personally, I'm trying to figure out what I would actually do in this situation. My son has just died. I'm having writer's block. I'm sitting in front of my computer trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Or trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to write about. And all of a sudden I come back and on my computer is written, Daddy, I missed you. My first reaction would be, what the fuck? I would want to turn off the computer. Shouting Jonathan wouldn't help, so... You know what? I think my first reaction would be, I'd shout Jonathan. After you shout your deceased son's name out, new letters appear and form a reply. Yes, it is me. You're not a computer engineer, but you know that this is not possible to hack someone's computer and put a prank on him if the computer is not online. Your computer is connected to the internet with an internet cable. okay, sorry. So you know that this can be done if your computer is online. And that is very much true, but it's not as easy as most people make it sound. So first thing I would obviously do is pull out the internet cable, because in my mind the first thing I would think is I'm being hacked. So I would do exactly the same, pull out the internet cable. You crouch down and frantically pull out the internet cable from your computer. You expect that nothing else will be written, but no, you are wrong. I am in the computer. At this point, I turn off the computer. No jokes, at this point, I would turn off the computer. I'm not going to entertain that shit. I don't want to say I believe in that shit, but you know what? I'm not going to fuck around with it. So if something like that has to happen to me, I ain't going to taint fate. That shit's going off. You turn off the computer and the monitor screen goes black. Then nothing else appears on the screen. You don't find anything to write in your novel, so you don't need to turn on the computer once again. And yes, also the text disturbs you. You don't experience anything supernatural during the rest of the day. At night you take your sleeping pills and you fall asleep. You're having a vivid dream. You see Jonathan in a garden with green grass and colorful flowers. He runs around with happiness and angels. There are white-dressed angels around him. Everyone is smiling. You are not a part of his dream. Jonathan doesn't see you, but you are still content with seeing him happy in his Eden. He was always a benevolent boy after all. He deserved to go to heaven. You wake up to the sound of the doorbell ringing again. You take a look at the clock and it's 10 a.m. You wear your slippers and open the door. It's Bob. Hello, I need to show you something. He holds a newspaper in his hand. There is anxiety on his face. You take the newspaper. It's Iowa's, a local newspaper. Another kid choked to death. Officers are investigating the curious case of repeated deaths of kids in the state. Yesterday night, a 6-year-old boy, Kevin Madison, was found dead in his bed by his parents. His face was covered with his pillow. What makes this interesting for officers is this is the 7th time a boy died this way this month in Iowa. Recently, 8-year-old Jonathan White also died with a pillow on his face. Sheriff Walcott states that he finds the recent events quite interesting. The end. There are 2 possible endings. The end. There are 2 possible endings. I don't get it. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go through the story. I just want to have a look at something over here. Once again, we open the door. I am fine. I want to see what the other outcome for this could have been. Because, I mean, literally, the only thing that is done is literally tell me that other kids in the area have been dying the same way. Now, if there's 2 possible endings, maybe I shouldn't turn off my computer, and maybe I just need to actually speak to the kid. So, shout Jonathan once again, pull out the internet cable, and then this is where he says, I am in the computer. This is where we turned off the computer. So, let's try this. How is that possible, Jonathan? Good Lord said that it should be together with you. What? Good Lord said that I should be together with you. He said that I love you and you love me. So he sent me back. Okay? I'm so afraid, Daddy. It's cold and dark. I'm so cold here. Please bring me back. Do you want to see me once again? Obviously, if you've just lost your child, you'd give everything to have your child back. So yes. Find 5 candles and wait for midnight. Bye for now, Daddy. You've got only 1 candle at home. You normally use the candles when the electricity is gone, so you didn't need more than 1 candle before. What will you do? What will you do? Oh, obviously, let's go next door and ask Bob if he's got candles, instead of first going to the market. You know what? Let's not fuck around. It's early in the day, obviously. It's only 10 a.m. now, as far as I can remember. It's 10 a.m. There's more than enough time to go to the market and buy some candles. So you wear your long beige coat and black leather boots and walk to the market to buy 4 candles. Then you return home. At home, you wait in front of your monitor. Nothing happens until midnight. Then a new message appears on the screen. I am back, Daddy. Did you bring the candles? Yes, I did. Good. Let me explain how you can bring me back. Go to the cemetery, dig my grave, bring my coffin home. No. Nope. Once again, this is where I turn off my computer. If something is asking you if it is a ghost, first of all, grave robbery, which I think in every single country in the world is illegal. Go dig up the body of my son and then bring that coffin home. And I can only imagine that the 5 candles are going to be for some kind of ritual. But you know what? Let's entertain the notion. I want to see where this goes. So, okay. We shall speak again once you bring my coffin. You know it is insane what you do. But you get prepared to get outside. You wear your coat and get outside your home. It's snowing like hell, a cold interpretation of hell. Outside, the sky has a bright purple color illuminating the night with the help of a full moon behind the clouds. You get in your car and start it. The streets and roads are empty. There is only you outside in this hour of night. It doesn't take long to arrive at the church and its graveyard. The graveyard is covered with snow and grey mist. No lights come from the church. Either there is nobody inside or the priest is sleeping. That's good. You can't be seen while digging your son's grave. You find the grave of your son and wife. Jonathan White was buried next to his mother. There is an unoccupied area next to them. You will be buried there when your time comes. You search for a shovel. You find it about 10 minutes. You are ready to dig the grave. So, start digging. You start digging Jonathan's grave. After 6 feet of digging, you reach the little wooden coffin. You climb down, then carry the coffin up. After that, you climb up and carry the dirty coffin to your car's back seat. You had never done something like this, something so bizarre before. After you reach home, you get off your car and carry the coffin home. It's supposed to be get out of your car and carry the coffin home. Luckily, there's nobody around. You drag the coffin to your living room center. You don't care about the floor getting dirty with soil. Thank you, Daddy, gets written on the screen. Now put the candles around my coffin like a star. Okay, we're going for pentagram here. 100% demons involved. I'm calling it. Has to be. Okay. You carefully place the candles around the coffin, making it the center of a star. You light them with your lighter. Now read this aloud, Daddy. Okay, just the start of that sentence tells me no. If anybody knows anything about like Satanism and that kind of stuff, the first thing that they normally associate with like the devil and hell and that kind of stuff is the goat's head, the goat figurehead, or the goat symbol, if you want to call it that. And this text reads, "A lonely goat on a mountain. He's thirsty. Thirsty for humanly love and affection. I shall give him the water." You read the lines, "A lonely goat on a mountain. He is thirsty. Thirsty for humanly love and affection. I shall give him water." And the coffin starts to shake. The coffin's lid gets opened slowly. You see Jonathan opening the lid and raising up. His skin is pale, almost white. You can smell the rot of his undead corpse. He is wearing the black suit you couldn't forget. He stands on his feet and smiles at you. Then he steps outside the coffin away from you without saying anything. And as he does something you wouldn't expect from the dead, he dances. He dances with joy. After half a minute he stops dancing, stares at you. His eyes are still blue. "Take me in your arms, Daddy. Take me to the bathroom. I want to show you something." It is impossible not to obey what he says. You feel his presence dominating the room, overwhelming you, and it's impossible to say no. You crouch down and take him in your arms. You carry him to the bathroom. You bring him to the dark bathroom. You turn on the light and get horrified by what you see in the mirror. The boy's reflection is different. His skin is burnt like coal. Jonathan had an innocent and handsome face, but the face you see is so far from being pleasant. It is like a really old man's face who is also very ugly. And he has no hair. "I always wanted a daddy like you," says the eldritch abomination you hold in your arms. The end. Does this mean I was right or wrong on the prediction of the demon, or something has possessed the child's body, that is for sure, and the mirror is giving away the true reflection? Holy shit. Okay, this is like the last thing that I expected from this. I thought that, you know what, maybe the son has died, the son's spirit in the computer, and gonna try and convince the father to join the son, therefore causing the son, or causing the father to commit suicide, or something like that. Not that the damn son's body is gonna be possessed by a goddamn, I want to call it a demon, just another soul. Obviously a soul from hell, based on the burnt corpse and the burnt skin, but okay, that was weird. And I did get a bit of creeps especially when the when the kid asked to be picked up and taken to a dark bathroom, and then the father actually picks up a dead corpse that had just been brought to life and actually obeys its command. Now, I do understand that if someone had lost someone as important as your child, you are going to wish for any possible way to have your child back, you are going to want your child in your life again. And I can understand that a lot of people that commit suicide and go insane and basically full depression because of the loss of something and someone so important in your life. So I get that you are willing and wanting to believe any possibility to have your child back, but there has to be that point where you realize, you know what, something's not right. First of all, something writing to you that I died 3 days ago, but I'm in your computer now. I need you to go get candles, dig up my grave, bring my coffin back to the house, and then place it in a pentagram around, and then mutter something that has got the word goat in it. If alarm bells and sirens aren't firing on fucking extra loud in your brain, something is wrong with you. But I actually enjoyed that story. I possibly could have seen it going another way, but for what it was, I actually really enjoyed that. And once again, I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Now, if you enjoyed it, by all means, let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. But obviously, until then, cheers.